to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So today I want to bring you a project that I've been thinking about. Um, and it's going to be a project for Black History Month. And what inspired this project was purchased the We Are Memory thermal cinch. So I was hunting around for a project that I could practice with that wasn't too big, too unwieldy, that I could just try to do some bookbinding because I've never done that before. So I'm going to tell you, I was on YouTube just watching a few channels just to see what I could find. And then I came across this video and I'll link it to my in my description. But I saw this and I'm going to give all kudos to Miss Sherry. She did this backpack. Um, uh, holder for the with a notepad, and I really liked it, but I didn't want to necessarily do her exact design, so let me show you what I came up with. And you're more than welcome, to work with her project, but I just kind of made it my own. And the reason I was making it my own is I intended to use this little notepad at work, and I didn't need all that on my desk. So I didn't need all that little stuff on the back with the straps and all of that. It was just going to hang out on my desk. But I wanted to really get to you how I took what she said and used my Cricut because I don't have a scoreboard. I'm not really good at measuring things. Everything comes out crooked. So when I'm trying to do some precise cuts, um, I use my Cricut. So the way this is constructed, this is the main panel, and it's 3¼ by 10 inches with uh, it looks like 5 score lines. So I started with shapes, and I wanted a rounded corner, so I didn't want anything too harsh. So I went with the rounded corner, and then I wanted to change my dimensions. So again, the main panel is oh, I got stuff everywhere. Let me change my dimensions. So it's going to be 3.25. 3. I can never get to 3 in there. Okay, well, it didn't like that. Not sure what's going on. At 3. Maybe my number lock is not on 0.25. There we go. By 10 inches. Okay, so that's my base. And then for sake of what we're doing, I will go ahead and change that white. And then what I wanted to do is there's several score lines, and I just used her proportions. I really didn't change anything. Um, I can see where you could make this a little bit bigger. So I had thoughts, once I graduate from this, then I could actually change this up and make it like a 4x6 notepad. But for now, this is where my head is. Okay. So I'm going to go to shapes again, and I'm going to select the score line. And then I want to turn this score line to 90 degrees. So I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees. And then I know that my um, width is, I'm sorry, I'm going to change this height to 3.5. And that'll match what I got going on. And then once I've got that first score line, I'm going to move this project up into the corner because at the top, you're going to have a very first score line, and that's going to be at 1.75, which is here. And then I'm going to duplicate that again. So I right-clicked on my mouse and duplicated that. And then my next score line is going to be at 2 inches. So I'm going to stick it right here. And the reason I'm doing these score lines, let me finish my last score line. I'm going to duplicate again. Is this is for the score line is going to be at 2.5. I think that's about right there. 2.25. Yep, right there. Okay. So one score line is for the flap to bend back. The other two is for the cinches glue um, strip to nestle in, and so the note papers could stick to it, the actual writing papers. Then there's another two more score lines. So this is at the bottom, so I'm going to duplicate. And then the first score line is at 6 inches, about there. Yeah, about there. And then my next one, I'm going to duplicate again, is at 6.5, 6.5, about there. Now I can zoom in a little bit just to make sure so you can see that. Now, if you have a scoreboard or anything like that, you can certainly score these yourself, and you can certainly cut it out. And but I'm using what I have, and which is my Cricut, and I'm letting it do all the work. If you didn't have a scoring stylus, you could actually duplicate duplicate these and put them in. Let me send it to the front and like double up the score lines and make sure that they're aligned to each other. And then if they're right on top of each other, just so, then you could forego using the scoring wheel and use your scoring stylus. So basically, you would just take this and duplicate it and put it on top of itself. And then that would give you a double score line. You'd have to make it a little bit bigger just to make sure it's on top. And then if you did the double score line, then you wouldn't need to use your scoring wheel. Okay, so I'm just going to undo that and undo that. That's just a pro tip. Okay, that's tip of the day. Let's go back, zoom back out. I didn't know I got that far in. Yeah, so I'm gonna, whoops, don't want to do that. I'm hanging on to those because you never know if I can line them up correctly, then I'll have a duplicate score line. Okay, so once you do all your score lines, you can attach them. I don't know what happened to that other one. Here we go. Then, yeah, you can attach your score lines to your base. So I didn't grab both of them. Make sure, yep. And then attach. So now my score line, one of my score lines is in the back. Yep, and I'll just move that up. There we go. So now you're set. You're done. You're done with your base. And now in the video from Miss Sherry, she had a decorative panel. You can do a decorative panel. You can do whatever you like to this. But I forego the decorative panel because I'm not putting anything behind it. So then I went into design space after I got this laid out. And then I wanted to select some images because I'm going to decorate the top flap of my notepad. And I wanted to do something for Black History Month. And then I wanted to do something for my mom because she loves to crochet. So I'm going to make one for her, and then I'm going to make one for Black History. And I already made my template. So I selected images in design space. I probably have them bookmarked. Let's see if I can get to them. Let's see. Bookmarked. Yeah, so I bookmarked a few images in design space for Black History Month just because I wanted to do a project for Black History, and this will sit on my desk. And so I'm just going to go back to Canvas. So once I brought that in, That's what will get me back here. Okay. Once I brought these shapes in, I actually let me see if I can upload one. I'm sorry. I'm just being all over it. Okay, we'll take this one. We'll add this one to the canvas. So yeah, we'll move these guys out the way. I brought this in and I reduced it ever so slightly. And I just stuck it here to see if it was going to be too big. Because what I want to do is have something decorative on the top flap so that it would look really nice. And then I could also stick a Velcro if I needed to. So what I ended up doing is I did an offset, and just a very small offset. And then I could turn it white. If I didn't like this offset, you could actually make a circle or a square, whatever you like. I think I've got some contours back here, so I'm gonna hide all contours to make it one solid piece, and then there won't be any cutouts. So that's basically what I did for those other items that I already, and I don't want this one. I really like it though. I might keep it for next year, but for this project, I don't need it. And then let's see, where did my other stuff go? There we go. Okay, so I flattened it, print cut, and I've already done that. I'm not going to bore you. You've seen me do print cuts before. Um, so I'm going to take you over to the other side. When you make it, let's see, I'm going to click make it just to close this loop a little. You're going to click on make it. Wonderful. So as you can see, you get two mats. This is the print cut layer. And then this is the actual where you're scoring. And I actually did two at a time initially. And so yeah, I'm going to take you over to the other side of my work craft room where it's cutting out, and then I'll bring you over on this side. So enjoy after it's done. So I'm back. So this is what it looks like. This is my prototype. I used stuff out of my stash.
I had this wax seal that I had made. I haven't done anything with it, and a little bow. This is what it looks like in here. I've already got some scribbles in there. Let me get that out. I really am enjoying the thermal cinch. I used some paper in my stash. So here are my score lines here. That was the bottom score line. This is the top score line. So Miss Sherry said for it to fold back, she added that first score line at one and a quarter, one and a quarter. No, 1 3/4. So she added that so it'd bend back. And let me see if I can get in there a little. There it is. There's the binding from the cinch, which I'll show you how to do that. But I wanted to get everything scored and ready for the cinch. And then my note papers that I'm going to add, I didn't mention it, but this is 3x4. And it's about 50. I don't know how many it is technically. It should be about 50 of them. And the idea is you fill it. This is what I made earlier for Black History Month. You want to have enough of the the paper insert, where, as you can see, it folds over really well, so that the glue can get here. I'm no expert with book binding. This is my first time trying to do anything like this. That's why I wanted to use some smaller books, just to practice with the binding, because I really honestly don't know what I'm doing, but I was intrigued. And of course, I'm like everybody else with shiny objects. So, this is the one you saw me cut out. This is the one I'm going to use for my mom. I didn't have pattern paper, that I liked. And so I used my embossing folder. So this is a good way to use your embossing folder, as well. That's going to be another project for my mom. This is the one that I finished doing, and I added a sparkle pen to add some light. So this is my Spectrum Noir sparkle marker, and I just filled in the diamond pattern with that. And so the idea is, when you score it, there's a score line here, there's a score line here, and then there's that score line at the top right here, and then there's another one at the bottom, and then there's the other one. So my idea, based on Sherry's thing, is I would take this, so it looks like a matchbook to me, and I'm going to glue that there right on the top, which is going to be lovely. And then I have enough space where if I needed to, if it didn't feel like it was closing properly, then I could actually add a Velcro to it to keep it hold it down. And then you can actually decide if you want to cover this score line. It didn't really matter to me, but I have some decorative strips that I could use to color to this strip here to go right underneath that and make it not so noticeable. It just depends. Use whatever you have in your stash. You could put sequins, gems across the top, anything to, fancy it up. But I thought because this was a little just matte black cardstock, that I would use my sparkle pen to fill in the diamond pattern, just to give it a little bit of shine. I also thought about, for this, going over with some lunar or solar paste, just on the raised edges with my hand, or tracing the pattern with the sparkle pen, or doing some ink blending. Either one will work, just to give it some definition. So for my mom, I think she likes to crochet, I'm going to use this one. And this is a pattern that I found that I'm going to decorate the front with her. And I think I'll blend some purple around here. And then I made this other one, and since I'm all about making that one, I'm going to use this one says, I'm not bossy. I just have better ideas. What a good idea to put on that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I have some ink spray I might spray it with. But you never know. The sky's the limit. Make sure my camera tilted a little. Okay. All right. So let's put this together. I've already scored it for you guys, and this is the idea. I think I'm just going to use this one. So the idea is to put this here. And what you want to do is get these edges tamped as best you can. Now, I use my paper cutter, and this is why I don't like using my paper cutter, because I'm not the best. But I did the best I could, where I cut an 8.5 by 11 paper down into 3 by 4 panels to create this little notepad. Okay. I'm going to add that there. And what I ended up doing is to keep it flat. If I didn't like the way the papers were looking, I just took my little spatula and I'm trying to get this as tidy as possible and not have it shift. So that's my goal. And once I finish this little maintenance, I'm going to go heat up the thermal cinch thingy about. And then I'm going to stick it on here. And I want to keep this together. Because then the idea is when I put in the glue strip, I already have it really tight in my hand. I'm going to keep it that way. And I'm going to try to get a good border all the way around. I'm not always successful, but that's the idea. I'm trying to figure out a way to keep everything together so I won't have weird looking pages like half in, half out, like slipping out of a card deck. I will be back when I get the cinch all warmed up. Okay, so I'm back. I got the cinch started up. It is on the other side of my craft room, heating up. So I wanted to show you what came in the package when I purchased this. I purchased the cinch on the HSN website. So that's what the thermal cinch looks like. This is what I'm going to be using to bind my papers. But it came with all of these items for you to bind your books. But you can make your own, like doing what I did with the score thing. And certainly, it came as a bundle, so you can certainly use that. But this is the glue, the binding glue, I'm assuming. And then I'm going to get this. Make sure I got it sorted, situated just so, because I want to get that binding glue right in between. And you may not be able to see it, but I want to get that glue right. At least here. So for me, the best way to get this sorted is to make sure I fold it right. And there you go. So I'm in between this score line 2 and 2 1/4. So right in between these two. So I want it to fold just like that when I close, like a matchbook. So that's how I do that. So there's an adhesive strip on the back. And I got my little handy dandy scissors. So I'm going to peel off the adhesive strip and up, and my cinch just beeped, so it's ready, but I'm not ready for it. So from what I gathered, again, I don't bind books, is you want to get your glue strip not too close to the edge, because you don't want the glue to melt into your machine. So put that right there. And then before I commit, I'm going to make sure, scissors off, open that up, and then I'm going to just lift it on right a little bit before, so a little bit before that edge. So I'll do that. Then, so I got that taken care of. Looks like it's good. there it is. That's a little glue strip. So then I'm going to take, and then I'm going to save this piece because you have some leftovers. I can make a smaller book. Here. Then I'm going to take this, and I don't like that first piece because it's got all the stuff etched in it. But I want to make sure that I keep it as together as possible. And of course, my dumb butt just did what I didn't want to do, was after getting everything sorted and the proper, it's at least to my eye, the proper way, I want to keep this together. And then I'm going to stick it in here. And so I don't know if you can see that, but that's the way it's looking. And that's just enough, but not too much. So you can decide on, and then what I want to do next is make sure I got a good grip and this is not moving, because I'm going to unclamp that and clamp it together. And then I'm going to take it over to, as a matter of fact, I got another. These are from the Dollar Tree. I've just been burned before. And I'm just looking to make sure that it looks good. Like, one side always looks better to me. I think that's just how nature is. Like, see, that side looks really together. And then I'm just going to tap it down. I keep tapping it down to make sure all the pages get contact. I think I might have too much. Again, I'm no expert at this. I am no expert at all. This is my first time doing this. Maybe I need to take out a few more pages. I feel like I got too much. Start eliminating a few pages. And the only reason I say that is it doesn't look as bad. This is my only thing with me buying books. I'm such a stickler, and I keep trying to make sure I get everything perfect. And sometimes I want it to be neat and tight, and I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. And what bothers me is sometimes they're not all cut uniformly, so that bothers me too. So I am going to make sure, pull that back. Make sure I got it right to the edge. That looks good. And then I'm going to try to make sure I get it evenly spaced in where I have some space. Like, see, it's much more space over here than over here. See what I'm talking about? And that's what's driving me insane. So I came up with trying to keep it clamped together till I get my placement right. And it's just the way these pages are. I'm just gonna have to commit. I really am. That's why I like cutting these on my Cricut, because I get things, the Cricut just does what I cannot do, which is get these suckers even all the way around. I think I'm good. Oops, I don't want my cinch to cut off on me, but that's okay. Okay, I think I like it. Committed. Done. Yep, I think I like it now. And then I'm going to put this clamp on here, and everybody's in place. Okay. I'm going to go back. Oh, and then I saw when I was on YouTube that if you're worried about the glue seeping out, you can use parchment paper and slide it in there and dump it down into the where the heating element is. And then if any glue seeps out from the sides, if you had if the glue stick was overhanging and because it's going to melt, and so if it starts oozing out this side or that side, you have a little bit of protection. So I'm going to now take you back over to the other side of my craft room and put this in the Cinch. And I'll see you in a few.
So here I am on the other side of my craft room. So this is the Oh, memory keepers. We are memory thermal cinch. So this is what it looks like. It has instructions across the top. It has an on and off button here. So, and this is the dust cover of it, and then that's the timer. So it reminds me of a big old toaster, quite frankly, y'all. So there's the heating element down in the base. So what I'm going to do is, here's my project. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to make sure I got a good handle on this. I'm going to move that up a little bit. I'm going to stick my project all the way into the cinch, all the way down to the bottom of the heating element, and then I'm going to press the timer. And then once it finishes, it's going to need to cool for 5 minutes. So I'm going to let it beep, let it run through its cycle. And then once it does that, I'll take you to the other side so I can decorate it.
So I'm back. Everything from the cinch turned out really good. I wanted to show you, somehow I got this mixed up. I didn't get it perfectly centered, but I guess that's okay. I don't know why I didn't notice that before, but this is what it looks like. So here's the test. If you shake your papers and nothing falls out, then you know it's glued successfully. And so this is pretty as is. I mean, it's really nice. Nothing's wrong with it. So, but I'm going to either stick this on the flap. So this will be like that decorative piece for the front. So I'm thinking about right here in the center. And then I have enough if I need to put a Velcro dot right here. I'm sorry, a Velcro dot right here. Then I can Velcro it down to keep it flat. But it turned out better than expected. And then I like the little Spectrum Noir. I use this brush marker, just the clear, to add a little bit of sparkle to it. So if I didn't, I can go back through and add more sparkle, like layer it up. I have some colored sparkle pens, so I make my own pattern. That's what that would look like on that. So I've got some liquid glue here. And I am going to just glue this part. And I did wait 5 minutes, and it's my understanding, I don't just do half. I don't have to go too far down. That if it didn't successfully glue, then you could go back and redo it. Like the glue. So I think I'm going to put it right here and make sure it's straight. And yep, so I didn't go too far down with the glue, just right there with the Black History. And then that is my notebook. And that'll sit on my desk like so. And then I have another one. So off camera, I think I'm going to find another color because I have some more sparkly pens, and color this in and do this one as well. So see how it's not necessary, but if you wanted to put a Velcro dot, I just got these from the Dollar Tree. And then this is how I do it. I take it like that. And my scissors. And then cut it like so. And then I'll move that out the way. And then if you out the way. And then you can keep it together. That's the sticky part. Figure out where you want to lay it. Goes back up. So I want it to be about right here. And then I'll just remove the other side from the Velcro. And if you needed to, you could have put a little extra liquid glue on there. Wait, it'd be fried. And then just stick it down. And now you have a Velcro flap. If you wanted to, if I was going to do Velcro, this was just a last minute thought. I'd print do the offset, and then I print it to make this a little bit thicker, so that when you pull up the Velcro, like that flap, this base will be a little bit stronger. So if I do the Velcro on the next one, I'll go back into design space and cut out the shadow layer in cardstock and double it up to make this a little bit thicker. But that's my tribute to Black History Month. I'm sorry, before I go, you could do, and I have these, I'll have a link to them. You can, if you wanted to add a decorative strip, you can add a decorative strip right there. Since I use that silver, so let's see if that'll bring up the wow factor a little bit. And you can put it right underneath the score line. Oh, that's going to look nice. You want it to be right underneath that score line. Like so. Just some afterthoughts before I leave. Okay. And then I'll turn this over and cut that piece off. And then you really won't just this. And then if I wanted to, then I would go back and repeat the pattern on the bottom, towards the bottom score ring. Like that. And then that will bring in a little bit more visual interest to the notebook. I'm so excited about this. I am so happy that, and technically, since I got a little bit of this left, I can actually bump it up, if I had thought about it, bump it up against this and finish it up, finish this off, which I think I'll do. Just to use this up, because I hate to waste it. Turn that over. Use as much of this as I can. We can do this. Looks like it's coming perfect. Just do that like that. Give down light like that. And get it as close to that as possible. Yeah. And then to that and trim it. Trim it on a main hole. And then onto the other side. And then I'll be done. All right, I'm almost done. And then just try to get it lined up as best you can. Technically, I could have laid that bead down on the other side before I glued it, but this will work. That way I won't waste it. There we go. Now that is for perfect finish to a 3x4 notebook. Notepad using the Cinch. Thermal Cinch by We Are Memory Keepers. I don't know if that's their name. I think they changed their name. But I wanted to give my contribution to Black history, and I think it turned out extremely well. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you on the other side for my next project, Crafty Crafters. Take care.